Was it just the new girl that he wanted? The new life? Was there more to it? Life insurance? Possibly Anadarko might have been involved. There is definitely still more questions that are unanswered, and we probably will never receive those answers, unfortunately. But there's obviously been some discrepancies up in the air that why would you murder for somebody that you've only been with for a couple months, a few months at most? And there is also those theories running around that Anadarko might have been involved because the Survey 319 was scheduled to be demolished in September, where the murders had happened in August, but then the actual place Survey 319 was demolished in December. He brought gas cans out to the area where people have speculated that it was going to be an explosion, make it look like an accident. I mean, the unfortunate thing is the money that should have gone to Shanann's parents, the Ruseks, was actually divided. I can't remember the actual amount, but was divided to the actual Watts themselves, Cindy and Ronnie, which I don't think that they should have ever received it. It should have went to all to the Ruseks family. But again, I'm not a juror. I'm not a judge. I don't make those decisions. But in this video, we're going to be watching the Sacrificed YouTube channel. The video is titled Chris Watts, Was It Something More Than Just Wanted a New Life? Which I have definitely agreed with, that I don't think it was just a new life. I think he wanted more. He wanted a fresh start, a baby boy with somebody else, a new family, possibly the life insurance, because the life insurance policies were significantly large and he had debt and so forth. And that little bug in his ear, Nicole Kessinger, we don't know for sure if she said or if she said to murder them, but she did something that destroyed this family forever. So with that being said, before we go any further, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel by hitting the white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Zwolki has posted that video. And you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, also for helping out another channel, which is The Sacrifice. Make sure you guys go over their channel, give them some love. A smaller YouTube channel like myself, we definitely want to help each other out. So make sure you guys go over there, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Watch their old stuff, watch their new stuff. You know the deal. But with that being said, let's get in this video and see if we can learn anything more.
Bella, come here. Come here. Are you ready to sing Holly
It
Jolly
tears me up
Christmas?
every time.
Holly Jolly?
Poor baby.
You talking to Papa? And Mommy? Yep.
The Sacrifice. Subscribe to them now. I'm gonna have to start putting that in my stuff. I put it in the bottom. So this drone footage is right now where they're looking to see where they could locate the three of them. And they're actually talking to Chris Watts at the same time. Because they said they were looking at the drone footage that was above, trying to figure out where they were located at. They got a tip off of somebody about the Anadarko.
Chris Watts, WATTS.
Survey 319.
What's going on right now around your house? Right now, it's got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out.
I knew
like, if they can get a scent, see where they went.
when this happened.
They went on foot. They went in a car. They went somewhere.
That he was at fault.
And right now, it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead.
What a liar.
To something. What happened? She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon,
Between 2 and 5.
like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say
And she was murdered.
but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like, if she's not getting back to her, like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning.
Giving us too much information.
She was at the door, and that's when I came home, and then walked in the house, and nothing was vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nobody was here.
Frederick man is accused of killing his wife and 2 children, all the while appearing to be a worried husband.
What we don't know
Liar.
is why. Good evening. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Teresa Marchetta.
And I'm Tom Must. I'm glad you're with us. In this new mugshot, Christopher Watts looks nothing like the figure seen in family photos. Gone is the smile he showed next to his wife and daughters.
Completely
or even
different.
An interview he gave Denver 7 a day before his arrest.
Our team has been working their sources around the clock all week to make sure that you're the first to learn when there's a break in this case. Jace Larson,
Still
the
waiting.
very first reporter in the nation to break the news that Watts had been detained and confessed to the killing. And tonight, he's hearing from the DA about what comes next in the prosecution. Jacqueline Allen was on scene last night as police
Those were
relaunched
friends
their
of
search
hers,
inside the family
or
home.
theirs.
Tonight, she is hearing from the couples Chris Watts was staying with while police search for the wife and daughters police say he killed.
And Jennifer Kovaleski was there today as Watts made his first appearance before a judge. She begins our team coverage tonight. Jennifer?
Tom and Teresa, prosecutors just confirmed what many have long suspected, that this pregnant mom and her 2 little girls were killed inside the family's home in Frederick. Now, we know at least one of the bodies was found at an Anadarko oil and gas field. They are still searching for the little girls.
At least one of the bodies was found at an Anadarko oil and gas field. They are still searching for the little girls. At least one of the bodies was found at an
I've never.
I think our hearts are broken for the town of Frederick.
For the small town of Frederick.
Good catch there, man.
This is the outcome no one wanted.
It's been earth-shattering, expressing our sorrow
One of them.
for the loss of Shanann Watts, Bella, and Celeste. This is absolutely the worst possible outcome.
Investigators with the FBI, CBI, and Frederick police had been working around the clock since Monday to find pregnant Shanann Watts and her 2 little girls, Cece and Bella. But everything changed late Wednesday night.
Chris Watts was taken into custody.
That's why I think that the whole bag thing, like they had plastic bags. Like I've never seen crime investigators use plastic bags. It's always paper bags.
And was transported to the Will County Jail just after 11:30 p.m. last night.
Sources tell Denver 7 Shanann's husband, Chris, confessed to killing his own family and then hiding their bodies.
Look at his
24
mannerisms.
hours after he went in front of our cameras.
Just come back.
And the funny thing is the mannerisms are the same ones that Nicole uses.
Like, if somebody has her, please bring her back.
A far different picture than this afternoon when he walked into a Weld County courtroom wearing an orange jumpsuit.
We have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shanann Watts' body.
Detectives say they found Shanann's body on Anadarko property, one of the state's largest oil and gas companies where Chris was employed. Anadarko says Chris is no longer an employee.
Our hearts and our prayers go out to the families.
The search is now focused on finding the bodies of those 2 young girls.
We have strong reason to believe that we know where the bodies of the children are, and recovery efforts are in process on that.
Just a heartbreaking story. Now, Chris Watts is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder. He has not been formally charged. That will happen on Monday, and he's due back in court on Tuesday. Now, Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen spoke with the family friend where Chris had been staying. And Jacqueline, they say they noticed something that was off that made them call investigators.
Did they? Wait.
Right, they say he just wasn't being proactive enough. Here at the house, there's been a steady stream of
Same thing with Jen Soto and Stephen Stearns.
neighbors
Steins.
and friends building this growing memorial as people here try to wrap their heads around this tragedy, especially those who initially defended Chris.
I mean, we were hoping for the best.
At first, Nicholas and Amanda Thayer believed everything Chris Watts told them.
He slept in their
So
home.
stupid.
But for 2 years, their 2 families had spent so many weekends together. When they learned Shanann, Bella, and Celeste were missing, they opened their home to help Chris.
We love Shanann and those girls so much.
They never suspected the seemingly doting dad would ever hurt his family or theirs.
He stayed the night at our house across the hall from our 5-year-old.
Which is scary.
Even more haunting. Why? Why would he do this? Chris told them Monday about financial trouble.
We had no idea that they were financially until we spoke with Chris on Monday.
He mentioned putting the house up for sale.
And then last week, Amanda says Shanann confided suspicions of infidelity.
She said that it came to her mind that possibly
She knew.
he could be cheating, but at the same time, she was like, you know, he has no game.
But they say he tricked them. Only once when they were with him did they see any red flags.
It was Tuesday afternoon, and it was just kind of two easily ways of knowing where she could have been, and he didn't seem all that eager to
Go look for her.
They called detectives that night to report it. Still, they say the Watts appeared to be a happy family, and even if they weren't, no one expected this.
He just didn't seem like the type of guy to injure a fly, let alone
That's why it's so
his entire family.
confusing.
I look at my little girl. I don't know how anybody could do that. There's no reason.
There's no reason. Not for a woman.
The couple says they're so sorry they defended Chris, and they've told Shanann's family that. I've been communicating with Shanann's family. Her brother sent me the fundraising sites to help pay for the funeral and these travel
Nicole?
Yes. In this just-released video, we're seeing the unsung hero who's
I wonder if they're still live. Like the sites to help the Ruseks. Does anybody know? Because if they are, I would like to put them in my link so we can continuously still help the Ruseks. In whatever they need.
Termination may have stopped Chris Watts away with murdering his wife and two little daughters. Nicole Atkinson knew something was wrong when her best friend Shanann Watts didn't turn up for a doctor's appointment. She immediately called police.
I can't get a hold of her. I called, I texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every
She
single day.
foiled their plan.
The police body cam video shows Chris Watts arriving home. Imagine his surprise at finding cops already at his house. He had just disposed of the bodies of his wife and children in an oil storage facility where he worked. But thanks to Nicole, he's had no time to get rid of personal items that his wife would have taken with her if she was staying with a friend, as Chris Watts was claiming. She also discovers Shanann's purse.
And her meds.
She takes these, her medication's still in here.
Nicole is clearly worried. She knows something is wrong. Watts tries to avoid making eye
Look at
contact
that.
with her.
He
Because
knows.
of Nicole, his story is already falling apart. And this is the moment Watts realizes he was
He's
caught on a
screwed.
neighbor's surveillance camera backing his pickup truck into his driveway.
Kisses for a killer. That's Chris Watts' mistress, Nicole Kessinger, blowing him kisses and professing her love for him.
I'm having a wonderful time.
The main
You mean
reason.
a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
The video, recorded just weeks before Watts murdered his wife and two daughters, was uncovered by HLN for their series Lies, Crimes, and Video, airing Saturday. Kyle Peltz is the show's...
All he had to do was separate. He could have fixed his family, but then the last thing would have been divorce. But he would have been able to see his girls still. He would have been able to have a life with Nikki like he wanted to. But he chose the worst thing to do.
producer.
There's photos and videos of them on a secret trip to the Great Sand Dunes.
And we still
while
can't see it.
Shanann and Chris's two baby girls were away on vacation.
There you go, baby.
We only get little bits and pieces.
Behind the camera.
You're so damn sexy.
HLN also obtained voicemail messages Nicole Kessinger left for Watts.
Gross.
She giggles like a schoolgirl.
Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was
We hate
just
this.
calling to say hi.
Watts also took these provocative photos of his 30-year-old co-worker. He stored them in a hidden folder on his smartphone.
He hides this on an app called Secret Calculator. It looks and functions like a regular calculator, but when you enter 4 digits, it's a secret vault. It opens up and it reveals hidden photos and videos.
Watts claims he came clean about the affair to his pregnant wife Shanann the night he killed her and their daughters. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave and dumped his girls in silos of crude oil.
Which makes no
The
sense.
mistress told cops she had no idea he was planning to murder his family.
This shocked me just as much as I think it shocked the rest of the world.
Has located a neighbor's surveillance footage.
When she
Watching
goes,
Chris Watts, the morning
Shanann.
his family disappeared.
walking down the driveway, backing his work truck into the garage.
Which he never did.
His tailgate in bed obscured from the camera for more than 20 minutes. And finally, driving away. A day later, they knew Chris Watts had a mistress. And they knew where he'd been after his family disappeared.
And Anadarko is the one that told the police about her, not Nicole coming in first.
Using the GPS on his truck to locate this Weld County oil field.
They just didn't know where they were.
They questioned him for hours, gave him a polygraph,
He
and
failed.
confronted him.
He did not pass the polygraph test. Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Finally, he asked for a meeting with his father, then claimed his wife killed their daughters, and he killed her in a rage. Then got rid of the bodies at the oil field they'd already flown over.
Okay, can you mark it for me? And where are the girls at? Sydney? So which one is, do you know which one?
Just think what they were thinking. They were watching him do this.
Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, it's easy to open.
What's in the tank?
Mixture of oil and water.
Marking the locations of their bodies with their initials. And then...
Chris, stand up for me. I'm gonna have you face that wall.
his days as a free man ended.
Chris, stand up for me. I'm gonna have you face that wall. Just face it. Lift up your hands.
Just think what he was thinking. Like, my life is over. All because of what he did.
Okay, come and face this wall.
And all he had to do was be a protector and father.
Face me.
I've never actually seen his body cam footage. This is new for me.
Okay, you don't have anything in here, right? Okay, nothing in your pockets? Okay, go ahead and face that other wall behind you. I'm just gonna search you real quick. Spread your legs. Further. Okay, turn around and face me. No earrings, necklaces, anything like that? Okay. Let's walk up this way.
Oh, man.
Go out that door to your left.
Promise, I'm about loyal, truthfulness, and being dedicated. I don't like playing games unless it's role-playing. If you want me there, I'll be there. Ice cream, cookies, and lollipops sounds like a cheat meal tonight. Still gonna see you. It won't be as often as you'd like it to me. You think you're the only one addicted right now? I'm so hooked on you. Should have been hooked on your wife. Sleeping without your warm body next to me isn't going to be fun tonight. Sick turd. I want to call him back turd. I have an idea, by the way. I have a free hot stay at a Holiday Inn. Not sure if you can swing in, but we can road trip to the mountains or... Oh, that right here. Mountains or southern Colorado for a day or two. If you want, won't cost a dime. So this is when they were actually at the place with their friends, where apparently they were caught like naked or something, doing weird stuff out there. She supports me, but her parents were in a situation like that when she was a kid and it came up. It won't bother me. I'm not going to stop seeing you. I made up my mind. No, you didn't. Are we bad people? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Are we bad people? I'd love to see a part of it. Being in your life is something I crave. Conserve it while you can. I enjoy our conversation tonight. I hope you have a great night. Sweet dreams, Nikki. I'm getting drenched right now. Like to see you all. Bleh. My signal sucks so bad here. Might take a while to download your photo. Thought you were be more here. I'm resisting the funnel cakes and tater twists. I'm in stop traffic too. Just pulled up to your place. Oh, so you pulled up the place how many times? That was the 4th. You're so considerate and a monster yourself. I hope it's 2:30. You need some rest, boo. Boo. There it is. Yes, you deserve a pay increase for everything you're doing. Your plate is only getting fuller because people know what you can do. They need to compensate you now rather than later. Rocky's game didn't end until 10:20. Good thing I've left early. You've been there a while. Hope you had a great night, beautiful. Miss you. Get home safe. My sweet empanada. Gross. Oldest important writing in the world. Nice. That sounds like a good time. I haven't seen an IMAX in a while. Sounds like you're having a fun day with the folks. I'm still here at the birthday party. Kids are soaked from the water balloons. This was a day before the murder. Been pounding fruit and had a whole jar of asparagus. He didn't smoke any. Who's he? Been pounding fruit and had a... This is Nicole saying to Chris, who's he? I feel like there's text messages missing. This is the day of the murder.
Unnerving moment. Chris Watts explains why he put the body of his family into oil tanks. Denver 7's Jennifer Kovalevsky has been pouring through these hours of police interrogation videos you first saw on Denver 7. She has our report.
Either you're this monster, so I just want this young hot girlfriend, so I'm gonna kill everyone and hope it works out, or something.
Chris Watts' body language is as bizarre to investigators
He called
as
it.
was in front of our cameras. It would take detectives more than 6 hours to get Chris to finally tell them where he put the bodies of his pregnant wife and 2 little girls.
Okay, can you mark it for me? That has first name. Okay, and where the girls at?
Oil tanks.
This is drone video of the oil field where the bodies were found. His wife.
The girls were... So if we go back here, if you guys don't know exactly, the girls were found in tanks, but then Shanann was out here. And he wanted them separated because he was so mad at Shanann.
Of the oil field where the bodies were found. His wife wrapped in sheets from their bed. But no one was buying Chris's story.
Don't get mad, but what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life. And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home, and then killed Chanel. And that's what we're kind of left. That's what we have to believe, because it just doesn't make sense.
But that doesn't even make sense.
Very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster, I'm not a monster. I didn't kill my babies.
After he tells them where, detectives ask Chris again and again how and why he put his babies in those oil tanks.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them? I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Once investigators start searching the oil field, they come back into the interrogation room because no one can believe Chris could have fit his girls into those tanks.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense.
The hatch. How do you access that?
Upstairs.
And then what? Was it hard to get them in there? Did you have to push or anything, or?
Not really.
Chris then admits why he buried Shanann in a shallow grave, not in the oil tanks.
Is Shanann here because she couldn't, like, could you not lift her all the way up there, or you couldn't? Would she have been too big to fit in that hole? Do you feel sorry for what you did?
See, he even said that she was too heavy to carry. He shook his head.
A possible moment of remorse, or more lies from a monster. That's for you to decide.
I'm not a monster. I didn't kill my babies.
See that?
Cops confront Chris Watts' mistress after he murdered his pregnant wife and 2 daughters.
Telling
to
you
start
guys.
a new life with her.
Why would you wipe out your family to be with me?
The just released
'Cause
video
you
shows
put it in his
30-year-old
head.
Nicole Kessinger being interrogated.
Did you ever say anything to him about
Never.
anything about his kids being a problem? Anything about his wife being a problem?
Never. Never. This shocked me just as much as I think it shocked the rest of the world.
She breaks down, sobbing over the gruesome fate of the children, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old
She
Celeste.
didn't cry or sob.
He's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him.
Why? How? I don't even understand how you could, like, bring yourself to
She
do that.
faked it, man.
Somebody who's, like, that big.
Other just released videos show the web of lies and deceit Chris Watts created to cover up his unspeakable crime. After his wife and kids were reported missing, police searched his house, including the bedroom where he murdered little Bella. He pretends to be distraught over the disappearance of his
He does that.
family.
I can't imagine what you're going through right now.
The house, I couldn't sleep at all last night. I'm missing throwing chicken nuggets at me, honestly, last night.
Police were suspicious. At headquarters, he was given a lie detector test, which he failed.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
Why didn't they do the? I still don't know why they didn't do the test on Nicole. I know it can't be or used in court, but still, why not use it? Why not just try to kind of nudge yourself in there, see when she's like, "Oh, never, never. I would have never said that." Would you like? Was the 111-minute phone call? Was that about the premeditation murder? Like, say the yes or no questions.
When confronted with inconsistencies in his story, Watts asked to speak to his father and whispered his confession as police watch from another room.
You know what's funny too is the inconsistencies that Chris Watts had, but they're not talking about the inconsistencies that Nicole had. Like, why weren't we using those either?
Court motions filed today, Chris Watts' attorney is asking for DNA samples to be taken from the 2 girls.
Why?
What the defense wants to do with the samples is not known.
Because he wanted to sit there and say that the girls weren't his. He sat there and said that Nico wasn't his. He tried pulling the reverse card on Shanann, saying she was the one doing the infidelity. What a loser.
The paperwork also notes that the children were found in an oil tank filled with crude oil and had been there for several days.
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
The 33-year-old is being held in a Colorado jail after he reportedly confessed to killing his pregnant wife Shanann and their 2 daughters, 3-year-old Celeste and 4-year-old Bella. Their bodies were discovered on Thursday on the property of one of his work sites.
See, there another thing that ATS News made a very good point that maybe I need to look into it as well, is this whole digging thing that was out by Survey 319 as well. I can look into that if you guys want me to, but ATS News, if you guys haven't checked her out, make sure you guys go over there. But she put something about this whole digging thing out here.
Discovered on Thursday on the property of one of his work sites.
It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong.
34-year-old Shanann posted frequently about her family on Facebook. In May, she wrote, "I love this man. He's my rock." In another post, she reveals to her daughters that she is having another baby.
Mommy has a baby in her belly.
The couple had faced financial problems. They filed for bankruptcy in 2015.
Which they blamed on Shanann. Why? It takes 2.
It's haunting video showing Chris Watts and his wife Shanann on their wedding day.
I will love you and stand by you. And stand by you as long as we both shall live. As long as we both shall live.
The couple looked happy as they exchanged vows and danced their first dance.
She loved him.
Shanann's family gave toasts expressing their joy.
Which the Watts family did not attend because they couldn't get along with Shanann.
The chilling video was provided
invited by Shanann's family for a new Netflix documentary, American Murder: The Family Next Door. Never before seen home videos also show Watts hugging and kissing his daughters at the airport and enjoying a trip to the beach with the family. The documentary uncovered personal text messages between Watts and Shanann that shed light on the deterioration of their marriage in the months leading up to Watts killing pregnant Shanann and their two daughters, Bella and Cece, in 2018. I realized this trip's what's missing in our relationship. It's only one-way emotions and feelings, Shanann wrote. The last message she sent was on the night before she was strangled at their home in Colorado. Finally on plane and about to take off, she texted Watts, "Thank God. Prayers for safe flight. Love you." New video also reveals Watts with his mistress, Nicole Kessinger.
Thank you so much for
This
coming
makes
out here
you
with me,
sick.
Christopher. I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me.
Steve Helling is a senior writer with People magazine.
So Chris Watts is in jail, and he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life. He is in his cell 23 hours a day, and he spends all day reading his Bible. He really does feel guilty about what he did. He feels remorse. He wishes he'd done things differently.
Chris Watts had little to say in a Colorado courtroom this afternoon. Wednesday night, the body of his pregnant wife, Shanann, was discovered on the property of one of his work sites.
We have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shanann Watts.
I still think wholeheartedly this jailhouse interview that they had, people disagree with me, but I think they were trying to get some more information. But I think the most majority of the information was something about NK. That's what I feel.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, you know, what are you doing to mommy?
Right. And then the girls, right? Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the backseat.
Okay. Was she just right next to Bella? Okay. So once again,
Bella watched her sister die.
hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over and my hand.
Your hand. Okay. And then so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth.
And we're just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
She was sitting there next to her. She didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I was thinking this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened, so I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull Cece out?
I pulled Cece out.
Okay, so once Cece's gone,
So-
Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled Cece out. What did you do with her? Okay. So
So she put her in the tank.
and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. Okay. With regard to that tank, did you bring up Cece, put her down, open the hatch,
Brought her up, opened the hatch.
and then put her in? Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said, what happened to Cece? First she asked, is the same thing, is that the same thing that happened to me as Cece?
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart.
She knew.
How did she sound when she asked you?
How do you do that to your children?
That soft voice she always had.
What exactly did she say?
She said that it's the same thing that happened to me as Cece. And I said, I don't even remember what I said. I said if I just said yes like a horrible person, or if I just
Coward.
Shanann's family expressed their hurt, confusion, and anger.
Joining me now from Frederick, Colorado, is Omar Villafranca. Omar, have police released a motive for this crime?
At this point, Elaine, they have not, and they're really kind of being quiet. And in court today, they were bringing up the point that the affidavit is still sealed by the court. So as far as an exact motive, we're not sure. As we mentioned before, the family did file for bankruptcy in 2015. So,
but again, it's not reason for murder.
Right now, it's too early to speculate.
The wife and daughters were reported missing on Monday. Watts was taken into custody Wednesday. Do we know what prompted police to begin treating this as a homicide case?
Anadarko threw him under the bus.
Well, no, and mind you, keep in mind the Frederick police and everybody in this area was handing out flyers. They were looking all over the place for this family that was missing, and Mr. Watt was even talking to the media. But again, it brought up to the point that affidavit, the police affidavit, has been sealed. We're trying to find out exactly what was in it, but a court and the judge has sealed it, so we're going to have to wait. We're hoping we'll get clues into what gave them probable cause.
Trying to find out exactly what was in it, but a court and the judge has sealed it. So
there's been reports that he, of course, allegedly confessed to it,
but if he murdered her, he would have got the insurance money, and for them, and he would have been able to pay for all his debt off. That's another reason why I think that happened.
Investigators were putting on him. We don't know.
And do we know then, Omar, what happens next here?
Well, and an interesting point, because he hasn't been formally charged. He's facing possibly 3 murder charges and 3 tampering with evidence, being the body. Those formal charges are expected to happen on Monday.
Illegal termination of a child.
Court on Tuesday.
As the campaigning continued, many people watched. Whoa, hold on. Stand on the porch in front of his news cameras as he pleaded for their safety in return. I knew exactly that he did it. Just days later, Chris Watts confessed to murdering his children and eventually confessed to killing his children. Chris Watts' sentence hearing was scheduled for November. So this is another one that I want you guys to pay attention to. Chris Watts' sentence hearing was scheduled for November 19th, but then was pushed forward to November 6th. I'm telling you, this is part of it. Guess what else happened? District Attorney Mike O'Rourke never gave a reason for moving the date of the hearing. It's because he wanted to look good for getting this thing done, this hearing and this whatever have you, to make it look like, oh, he's the best DA ever. He got this taken care of within days. Because, how much you want to bet? There was also something going on that same day. Elections. Told you. Minimum distance established of oil, gas, and fracking projects. I'm telling you, the DA is corrupted in himself. Why would you push the trial to the same day as your election? Is to reward those who go along with the mission and push and punish those who do not. Other winning hearts and minds. I'm telling you, man. This is bigger than we know. Don't be fooled by Big Oil's ballot initiative. Oil and gas companies, including Anadarko and Noble Energy, poured millions into the political interest. This is where it gets scary. Is they put money into the elections. Through mailers, door-to-door visits, TV ads, the group trumped the industry's economic success and raised concerns about what would be lost if companies faced new restrictions. I'm telling you. So Anadarko and Noble Energy put money into The elections. I'm telling you, man. If proposed 112 passes, Colorado loses. I'm telling you. Spent $819,000. Donations came mostly from individuals and several environmental advocacies groups and liberal philanthropy organizations. We came tens of millions in oil and gas spendings at a 40-to-1 ratio. Lots of deceit and dirty tricks to come closer than was ever imagined. Reading a statement issued by Colorado Rising, this is the monument that we will continue to build upon to protect our communities from a dangerous and belligerent industry. Is Anadarko involved too? Or was? They went bankrupt.
I want to read this part that is kind of the most interesting part we've been able to gather so far, saying that Chris stated after he told Shanann he wanted a separation, he walked downstairs for a moment and then returned to his bedroom to speak with Shanann again. While in the bedroom, via the baby monitor located on Shanann's nightstand, he observed Bella sprawled out on her bed and blue, and Shanann actively strangling Celeste.
Wake up
That's a lie.
every morning just crying, thinking this is not gonna be what's gonna happen every single day. It's just so hard to get through it. I just don't know how to get through it.
Tell me about his childhood. Did he play sports? Was he in scouts? What kinds of things did
Yes,
did
he
do?
played sports. He played sports from the time he was 5 years old up until he was 17. And he was in basketball, he was in baseball, he was in football, and...
Raw drama in court as the cold-hearted killer who murdered his pregnant wife and 2 daughters is sentenced. The father of slain Shanann Watts gave an emotional statement, venting his anger and grief.
You heartless monster. You have no heart or feelings.
And he only cried when his mom started
Prison
speaking.
is too good for you. This is hard to say, but may God have mercy on your soul.
Shanann's mother reminded Watts of a heartbreaking video his daughter Bella recorded.
That should haunt him.
We loved you like a son. We trusted you. Your faithful wife trusted you. Your children adored you.
Here's Jim Murray.
The DA revealed gruesome new details about the murders. As Watts strangled his wife, it would have taken up to 4 minutes to end her life. Then
And you can't tell me she didn't fight in those 4 minutes.
smothered his 2 daughters. 4-year-old Bella fought back as her dad was killing her. Even more shocking, just hours after burying his wife and dumping his daughters' bodies in oil tanks, he was back with his co-workers, acting as if nothing had happened.
Even his own mother expressed horror at Watts' crimes. A tear rolled down his cheek as she spoke.
This is something we will never get over. We will always mourn the loss of our family. I am still struggling to understand how and why this tragedy occurred.
He kept his head bowed as his mother turned to look at him.
We love you. We forgive you, son.
He did not look back at her. 33-year-old Watts was offered an opportunity to speak.
He did.
Would you like to make a statement? No, sir. But his attorney apologized on his behalf.
Although he understands that words are hollow at this point, he is sincerely sorry for all of this.
And when it was time to hear his fate, Watts' legs shook uncontrollably beneath the defense table.
The court is going to sentence you, sir, to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole.
District Attorney Michael Rourke said there will always be unanswered questions about the
Why?
horrifying crime.
We want him to get life in prison. It was like they already knew he was guilty.
He is guilty.
And this was the end of it.
Were you worried about the death penalty being a possibility?
No, I didn't care about the death penalty. Nobody's going to die in Colorado. I don't think anyone has. What, one person? Colorado is changing. So,
That's sick to hear.
People stay on death row forever. There was no.
That's wrong.
I think you'd be safer on death row. And our parents said they didn't want any more death. So I don't see how the death penalty could have mattered.
More than 2 years since the killing of his pregnant wife, Shanann, and 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, the home where they lived still sits vacant.
Well, tonight, with renewed interest in the case, we go back to that neighborhood, and Denver 7 investigator Jennifer Kovaleski found it's going to be tough to sell
After
the
almost
Watts property.
5 years, it sold.
Driving by, it looks like the all-American home. 2 stories, 5 bedrooms, 4,000 square feet in the cookie-cutter suburbs of Frederick, Colorado.
It's a beautiful home.
But when you know what happened inside, everything changes.
There's no mystery about what happened there.
Bankruptcy attorney Clark Dre says there's no mystery because it horrified the nation.
The neighborhood knows what happened there. Potential buyers know what happened there.
Fate of 2825 Saratoga Trail sits in legal limbo.
It's a beautiful home. I would hate to see him just take it down.
Neighbors are scarred by what happened.
I think they should have taken it down.
Or use their real name. They all told me they didn't want any more attention.
For the neighborhood, it's just kind of difficult.
This woman, who lives right next door, says the recent Netflix documentary spurred new interest in the home, and not the kind anyone here wants.
I'm thinking about like colleges.
Like literally hundreds of cars have come by. They're curious. They've been coming from out of state.
They've had so
People want me to go there. I'm like, I'm not going there.
much activity. Neighbors put up no trespassing signs and are urging people not to leave any more memorials on the front porch.
Would ask that people just be respectful.
Today, the house many see as unsellable is deteriorating. The grass is dead, and vacancy notes are plastered to the door.
People come by late at night.
Around back, memories of the family home are frozen in time. The girl's swing set blows in the wind, and a stuffed animal lies in the grass.
There's a fascination with it.
It would be a great home for a traditional family.
But Dre says it's very difficult to overcome the stigma. Do you think it's fair to say it's an unsellable home?
I think from a legal standpoint, it's very difficult to get that property sold.
Shortly after the murders, the lender that owns the mortgage foreclosed on it and put the house up for auction. But nobody wanted it, so Weld County took it out of foreclosure.
It's a strategic decision that the bank has made. This doesn't have to be our problem. We're okay not getting paid on this property.
Bella, come here. Come here.
Remember them how they were.
Holly Jolly Christmas? Holly Jolly? You talking to Papa? And Mommy. And Mommy? Yep.
And this is why we do this, is to find the actual complete answers, not missing questions that can never go unanswered. Yeah, there may be some questions that will never get answered because Chris is going to rot in prison with them. He's never going to get out. He's never going to have his time with Nicole ever again. He's going to live alone, die in prison, watch his parents live on or go broke because of what he's done. And I just still think it's more than just this new life that he wanted. It was the money. It was more. DA wanted to look good, so that's why he pushed it back. I mean, this is just what it's so corrupted to hear anymore, that people just want to be beneficial and make themselves look like, it's like, are you flipping kidding me? It all comes down to lust, love, and power. Is those three things. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. It's monstrous. And there's people that say that this didn't even really even happen. That it was just a perused joke or a perused fake story. 4 people lost their lives. And then they make jokes about it or they mock Shanann. It's just disgusting. So for those that have watched till the end, what are your partakes on this? Was it just for a new life? Was it for money? Was it for fame? Because he apparently enjoys the fame from all his weird Team Chris people that write him in. Is it Power? Was it Anadarko? What do you guys think? Please comment down below. Keep it positive. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to the Sacrificed channel. And then hit the like button as well for the complete 100% justice that we will hopefully one day see. And we'll see you guys in the next video. So please take care, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time.